Greetings, folks, and welcome back to another tip, trick, and hack with your pal Douglas Smythe from PhoenixShaving.com. Wow. Today we are looking at diaper rash cream. That's right, folks. Now, what does this have to do with wet shaving? Far more than you'd guess, really. It has more to do with wet shaving than babies' behinds. Although the BBS thing, it kind of ties the whole room together. BBS meaning baby butt smooth. However, this is more about, less your butt and more your neck. There's many guys out there that have irritation, agitation, chafing on their neck. Well, it turns out to be chafing on the neck. They typically think it has to do with their shaving. They're shaving too much. So they start, shaving every other day, still experiencing this, and they can't figure out what's going on with their neck. I'll tell you what's going on with your neck. Your collar, especially if you wear a stiff collar to work every day, or if you're a firefighter or someone with a strap under their chin, that can cause irritation and agitation too. And there is one way around it that works really well, and it's diaper cream. It's not actually diaper cream, however, it's the active ingredient inside the diaper cream, which is zinc oxide. Oh, I don't know if you can see that. Yes, there you go. Zinc oxide, and it's right there. That is what makes the magic happen. And so you just want to apply a little bit of this to your neck. A little goes a long way. Rub it in really well. The problem with some diaper creams is they leave a thick white coating that's tough to rub in. So you can dilute it with a little bit of olive oil or some other oil, argan, kukui, even shea butter. But you could dilute it that way to work the zinc in. If that doesn't work for you, if you don't have any diaper rash cream around, you can make your own. That's right, folks, and that's what we're going to be doing right now. This is a balm or a moisturizer I picked up it was an impulse buy while I was at the supermarket. You can use any type. You can use one of my shaving balms if you want. A balm, a moisturizer, any type of lotion will work to be a carrier or a vehicle for the zinc oxide. This is a 1 ounce tube of it, which is perfect for what we're going to do. Next, you will need zinc oxide. Let's look at that closer. Zinc oxide, because everyone has a tub of that lying around. Clearly, this is what I use at work for some products, but you can find this online really cheap, and especially if you're suffering from this problem, this is going to be something you want to invest in. Zinc oxide, you can get it on eBay or Amazon, super cheap. It's a white powder. We're going to look at that in a second. And you'll also need a hand mixer. You can use a hand mixer. I use this for sports drinks and whatnot. It's great for mixing stuff up. If you don't have one of those bad boys though, a chopstick, a spoon, and most importantly, you will need a measuring spoon. Now I'm going to use, and I suggest you use, but you might want to, well, that's my suggestion, but you might want to play around with the amount of zinc oxide you use. This is a 1/4 teaspoon. This works for me with 1 ounce of moisturizer or a balm. But you never really know. It's your mileage may vary as with anything else. So if you mix your own balm, zinc oxide balm, and it's too pasty white, you're gonna have to lower the ratio of zinc oxide to moisturizer. Again, this is a 1 ounce moisturizer, then combining with the zinc. And you'd be like, oh, Doug, I just wasted, all this on 1 ounce of moisturizer. Now I get this 1 ounce of moisturizer that's pasty white. That's fine, folks. Save that. Save that for the beach, because zinc oxide is what provides the SPFs in sunblock. That said, if you are using this to prevent chafing on your neck, you don't want to wear this to the beach, unless you're going for sun blockage. And in that case, this doubles as a sunblock. So super win. So let's just mix some of this up right now. Forgive my focus. I'm sure it's doing some weird stuff because it's on autofocus. I don't have an Oompa Loompa filming me today. Okay. So you want to get all that in there. Just like that. Then we're going to take, again, a 1/4 teaspoon. And it doesn't have to be a heaping teaspoon either, because you only really need about 10%. And right in there. Now, I typically start off any type of mixing by stirring it in by hand first. And again, I love chopsticks, not only to eat with, but for stirring stuff up in the kitchen. Even in the lab, I'll use chopsticks and stir stuff up. Okay, that, and then we can, oh, you know what, a piece of wheatgrass in there. Okay. Let's see how great this thing blends. And again, you want to blend this in really good because this white powder will stand up. If you're not familiar with the white pasty look that sunblock can give you sometimes, think of the 80s when people used to put that colored zinc on their nose. That was zinc oxide, it's the same stuff. So again, you can use this on the beach on your nose, or just as a regular sunblock. Next, we're going to take the tube that this came in, and let me just grab some of the cutting block. We'll use a plate, and we're going to reuse this tube. Now, we don't want to cut at all the threads off because we want to put the lid back on, but as you can see, all we have is that little hole to work with, and we want to refill this up. So a serrating knife will work, just like that. Now, see, that still looks kind of difficult to fill, but trust me. Then you're going to need a bag and a spoon, and we're going to want to, we're going to treat this like a pastry bag. Again, forgive me if it's going in and out of focus, but right down in this corner is what we're going to want to fill up with this. Now maybe you can, if it's liquidy enough, you can actually pour that in, but I'm going to spin this in. Again, this makes a great sunblock. You know, I would love to start selling artisan-made sunblocks. However, it's really, talk about jumping through flaming hoops to get that, because zinc oxide is considered a drug. So now I'd have to deal with, instead of the FDA, I'd be dealing with the DEA and so on and so forth. And I don't want that knocking at my door. So, but I encourage you to make your own sunblocks. Okay, so as with, if any of you are bakers or have ever baked in your life, you know how to use a bakery bag or a pastry bag. Now we just cut off a little bit of the corner of the bag and you twist it a little to get it going. Oh, and I cut the hole a little too big. It also helps if you squeeze the tube a little so that there's air and it's helping you by sucking the lotion in. But I think you get the point, people. So that is how you make your own anti-chafe cream, or sunblock if you will, but this is about chafing, so we'll call it chafe cream for now. DIY. So this has been another tip, trick, and hack with your pal Douglas Smythe at Phoenix Shaving. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please give us a like. If you really enjoyed it and don't want to miss any future tip, tricks, and hacks, please subscribe. And you know, if you're watching, you have your own tips and tricks and hacks and things, hey, I got something even better than that, Doug. If you'd like me to put it on film, please contact me below in the comments, PM me on Facebook, email me, whatever, contact me, and I'd be glad to put that on film for you and give you a shout out for sharing it with the community. So thanks again for tuning in, folks, and I'll catch you next Tuesday. Shave on!